So, first of all, I just want to say a huge welcome to all of you. We're so excited to have you here and part of the team. And I'm going to do a little bit of screen sharing with you to just kind of go through some stuff. And then maybe at the end, we can kind of all introduce ourselves and get to know each other a little bit better. But um, let me just do that real quick so we can get started. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, wait, let me do the view percent. There we go. So this is really exciting to have you guys here. I think it's an amazing time to become a coach because I feel like there is a lot of buildup this time of year to when everybody makes New Year's resolutions. So I just want to say to you, what a great time to be joining in and to become a part of our team. And I'm really excited for you to be here and be a part of this. I wanted to tell you more about my story because I don't think I know many of you. Whoops, where did you all go? Wait, oh, there you are. There we go. I'll put you down there. So anyway, so I am a five-star diamond coach and one of the leaders of Inspiration Nation, and I am also a mom and a wife of mom of these three little boys. Wife, my husband's name is Bill. There, I have my master's in social work, and my story kind of started in Beachbody when I was after my third son. I had a tough pregnancy, and I weighed my heaviest following his birth, and I really had a lot of trouble getting the weight off, and it was super frustrating because we had moved into a new house following having our third son, and we had longer commutes, and now we were outnumbered, and we just couldn't seem to quite get it together. And my husband and I joked and said I felt like I was drowning with just my nose and my mouth sticking out of the water, and he was like, yeah, but I feel like I just have a straw sticking out of the water. And we actually happened to win a trip on the radio for a weekend, and we decided to take the time to I'm just going to mute a few so we can get a good recording. So we decided to take that time to figure out a way to take back some control of our lives because we just didn't want to keep feeling like we were drowning. And when we did that, we actually sat down together and wrote out a bunch of goals, like huge, big, dreamy goals, and then some like small, like let's just get it together kind of goals. And the one thing that really stood out in the beginning was that we just both felt like we needed to get back into exercise somehow. And so we kind of decided that would be our start. So we literally hung up a paper, a calendar that I ripped out of one of those, and I put it on the with tape on our wall in the bathroom, and we started getting back into an exercise routine, and that helped a bit. It helped me start to lose a little bit of the weight. I was not able to get back into my pre-pregnancy pants at that point, and it was super frustrating. And so anyway, I kind of knew that like doing it myself was sort of getting me somewhere, but it wasn't getting me any kind of results that I wanted. I wanted to be able to button my pants again comfortably. And I kept hearing about Shakeology, and I was sort of hearing that there were these groups you could do online. I didn't know what that involved really, but when I saw my coach, who is Alyssa Shoemaker, when I saw her posting some stuff, I kind of knew her from a mom's club, and I thought, I got to do something else. I made a little bit of progress, but I got to do something else. So I joined my first group, which was a 30-day clean eating and Shakeology group. And it was run by Melanie Mitro, who's actually, we'll talk more about her in a little bit. She's actually the #1 coach in the company right now. She wasn't at the time, but she was, so she did this group, and it was exactly what I needed because it was a time when I could check into this group on Facebook. I had no idea what Facebook groups were, but I could check into this group, and there were people who were working towards the same goal as me. And I started drinking Shakeology, and it really helped me turn around my nutrition, which was really poor at the time. I mean, we were kind of throwing together whatever we could with our crazy work schedule and our kids, and they're, just trying to figure it out. And it really helped me with meal planning. It helped me figure out what to eat the other meals of the day besides Shakeology. Shakeology became that quick, easy, like, okay, at least I know that this is good for me kind of meal. And then that kind of branched out, and I started figuring out, more about clean eating, and it really started working for me. And it helped me get back into my pants, and actually helped me need smaller size pants, which was such a great feeling. So I was really kind of sold on this idea. And my work as a social worker, I actually did support groups I ran support groups. And so I kind of understood that how powerful groups can be. But I hadn't really participated in them myself. I ran them, but I didn't really participate in them. And so as I was running them, I'm like, wow, this really works. It worked for me. And I wanted to kind of pass that forward. So that was kind of the physical part of my story. But the other pieces of my story, as far as getting into coaching, so I kind of knew, since it worked for me, I thought maybe this was something I might like to try and do on the side. I actually had my first goal in mind was to get enough money to hire a cleaning lady, because I thought if I could get that under control, that would be huge. But then what was happening for me at work, so I worked in oncology social work. So the support groups that I ran were actually for people living with cancer or family members. And I did a lot of work with kids who had a family member who had cancer. And it was really challenging work. It was, meaningful, fulfilling work, but very challenging. And there was a number of times when I would become close with families, and I saw families through death, and it was really, really hard. And there were times when I would felt like I was bringing it home with me, and I wasn't able to enjoy my family as much, my kids as much, because it wasn't making me hold them closer. It was making me push them away, because I was really struggling with burnout issues. But also the other thing, I was just thinking about this recently. The other thing that was really standing out to me was that I was seeing these people face death much earlier than they had ever anticipated, face these terminal illnesses. And all they really wanted was more time with their families, more time with their kids. And it really made me think, I think our society kind of sets it up that we all kind of go for this, this tradition, I guess, of working these 9-to-5 jobs. And for me, it was actually, I worked 2 evenings a week and every other Saturday. We work these jobs, and we kind of work really hard to make it to retirement. And then hopefully we are of sound mind and body to actually enjoy our retirement. And maybe we are, maybe we aren't. But for me, I was facing these families where they weren't even able to think about retirement. And here they were, kind of facing death, and all they wanted, like I said, was more time. And so it just really got me thinking, like, what's important to me, and how can I work and continue to help people, which is, kind of a personal mission of mine, but get more time with my family, get more time with my kids. And my oldest was starting kindergarten at the time, and I was going to start missing out on a lot of things that he had, like his activities and after school stuff, and sports and whatever. And I really was looking for something different and more, and I didn't even know what existed out there. And I read this book called The 4-Hour Workweek, and it really kind of turned me on to this idea that there could be another way to work that didn't involve 9 to 5, and there could be another way to dream about things that we want, and things that maybe you would otherwise put off till retirement, but that you could have now. And that's when Beachbody kind of entered into my life, not only as a way to feel better about myself physically, but also as an opportunity to live and work and see the world and see what the possibilities were outside of a 9 to 5 kind of thinking. So that was really at the perfect time for me. That it probably wasn't a coincidence. Maybe I was just open to that. I don't know, whatever your beliefs are about the world and fate and all that kind of stuff. But I think that all came around the same time. And I think it was the perfect opportunity for me to take a leap of faith. So So what I did was, after that 30-day group that I was a part of originally, I rolled into a second group. And when I did, I became a coach. I bought a challenge pack, became a coach. And I spent the summer, that was the summertime, and I spent the summer kind of thinking over, talking with my husband, and we decided that in September, I actually resigned from my social work job to do Beachbody full time, because it really had all the things that I wanted from a job, which was I work my own hours. So I work still my own hours. I work when the kids are napping. I still have, my youngest still naps, thank goodness. I work when the kids are at school. Everybody's in school 3 days a week for a few hours. I work in the evenings. I work on the weekends when I want to. I make it to all the games that I want to. But the other thing that's so huge about this opportunity is financially, the sky's the limit, really. And so I was telling you about Melanie, who's the #1 coach, who's part of our upline. We'll talk more about that. She has been in the business, I think, 4 years now, and she is part of the Millionaires Club. And my coach above me, Alyssa, has been in the business maybe 3 years, and she is a 6-figure income earner. And after I've been in the business 2 years, I've been able to make back my salary that I had, and that is including all the costs that used to go to daycare. So essentially, I've doubled my salary, which, you just think about how amazing is it to be a part of an opportunity like this, where in my social work job, I was looking at, possibly a 3% raise every year at best, and I didn't even get that every year. And in this business, you can double, triple, quadruple, like, I don't know what, the exponentially, whatever, your income. And it's really based on your work and, what kind of time you can put into it. But it's really based on you. It's so much more in your hands, what you want to do with this opportunity versus having it be in somebody else's, an employer's hands or something like that. So it's just huge. And, I feel so excited when we do these Coach Basics group, because I feel like people can really make not just a difference in your physical lives, which is very important, but you can make a huge difference and impact your entire family, and whomever you might like to bring into this opportunity as well, because it's real, and it has completely changed my life and completely changed how I look at my life and what my dreams are. And I no longer think I have to wait until retirement to enjoy time with my family or whatever we want to do with traveling, or, our family has other kinds of goals with our house and stuff like that. So anyway, so I get so excited on these days when we kind of introduce this opportunity to you, because I feel like it's just so huge and it's so exciting. And I hope that you all can see how exciting this opportunity is. I put on there too that I've been a part of these product launches, and it's been very exciting. I don't know which programs you all have done, but it's just very exciting because the company really helps us continue to stay very fresh and very relevant. And these programs were things that have come out since I've started coaching. T25 came out right around the time I started. P90X3, which is still probably my favorite program. The 21-Day Fix, I'm sure everybody's heard of that by now. PIO. So let's get into the company for a minute here, just so you have an idea of what you are joining. So Beachbody's mission is to help people achieve their goals and lead healthy and fulfilling lives. And every time I read that, I'm like, it really is cool. I mean, it's just an awesome mission to think that you're helping people achieve their goals and lead fulfilling lives. I mean, it's something that's a personal goal of mine, and with my social work background, I mean, it's really kind of part of me to want to help other people. And I think most people want to help other people, whatever your career choice is, but it's just like, that's the mission. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, it was founded in 1998, Beachbody was, and it was originally a direct marketing company, meaning that there was not a coaching network at the time they started. It was just, they were selling things, usually on infomercials. You probably have seen Beachbody infomercials with things like P90X, Insanity, and they were selling them directly to customers. In 2007, they developed a network of coaches, which is what we are now a part of. It became a network marketing company. They still have the direct sales component, but now they have what's called Team Beachbody. And basically network marketing, and we'll continue to talk about this concept, but it's what they were finding was that they were having so many people have success with their programs, and those people were telling other people. And by that kind of referral network, they thought, why don't we give some more power to the people who are actually kind of doing the commercials for us? So they developed this network marketing company so that people could have peer-to-peer referrals and then peer-to-peer support. So people like us become coaches and help other people with their Beachbody products and services and stuff like that. So again, you may have heard of some of these programs, and if you don't, we'll certainly become familiar with them. So P90X3, PiYo, Shakeology, Slim in 6, Body Beast, 21 Day Fix, just to name a few. I gotta move us over here again. There we go. So just a little bit about what a coach is and isn't. So just to clarify, a coach does not need to be a fitness and nutrition expert. So that certainly was the case for me. I have a social work background. I did not have a fitness background. I was not really an athlete in high school or beyond, for sure. And I wasn't definitely far from a nutrition expert. I thought I had an idea of what healthy eating was, but I certainly learn, and I continue to learn along the way, but I kind of have an idea of what's been working for me and my family. You don't have to be at your fitness goals. In fact, it's kind of it's really inspiring, I guess, when you see somebody go along their journey. So it's really cool when people start coaching at the beginning or middle of their journey, because it's really something that people love to see. And it's really something that's incredibly relatable, because nobody wants a coach who's perfect. People want to be able to feel like they know you and they know your experience. And you don't have to be an experienced salesperson either. I actually worked in a nonprofit, so sales was far, far from anything I had experience with. But a coach does need to be passionate and dedicated, committing to be proof of the products, which basically means that you're on your own journey and that you are doing some kind of nutrition and workout program yourself. Hopefully you all are involved in some variation of a challenge group. And if not, please talk with your personally sponsored coach about getting on board that. And then just being a messenger of success stories. And really that's the coolest part of this job, is really seeing people have success with different programs and knowing that you're making a difference in their lives. So what does a coach actually do? This is basically our formula for success. So fitness plus nutrition plus support equals success. I mean, that just really kind of says it all to me. These are some of the success stories that I've been a part of. So this is Nicole, and this was our P90X3 test group. And this is Shannon. She's actually one of our coaches, and she would probably kill me if she knew that I had this slide of her, because she's continued on her journey, and she wouldn't want this after picture. She'd want a different after picture. But anyway, you get the idea. Fitness programs that we'll talk about more about, but that would be any of those ones that I mentioned already, plus there's brand new ones coming out, which is awesome. Nutrition, which would be part of that is Shakeology, but there's lots of other pieces of nutrition that we share. And then support we usually do through challenge groups, but sometimes people do them through calls or fit clubs or whatever, but adding those all together equals success. These are some of just a couple of more success stories. I can't express how grateful I feel. It's a Saturday afternoon, and instead of feeling sluggish and tired, I have energy and feel motivated. With your help and the support of the challenge groups, I have completely changed my life. It definitely kept me motivated and accountable. The best part for me was probably all the knowledge that I gained that I may not have had I just been on this journey alone. Thanks everyone for all the shared knowledge and inspiration. Thank you for helping out my family. The kids are starting to eat better too. My husband lost 5 pounds in about 4 days. He said he has really been out of control. He does the workouts every night with me after the kids go to bed, just like you suggested. It has become part of the routine. I have been wanting to live healthier for such a long time. I am so very thankful that you are reaching out to others and changing lives. And then finally, the best part of the group for me was meeting all the people and really feeling like people cared whether I succeeded. One thing I learned from the group was that other people are just as busy, just as successful, and letting myself give excuses only hurts myself. And those are really just a couple of the feedback that we get. So it really is a job where we're just doing great things to help other people reach their goals and feel success. And it's amazing to be a part of that. It really is. So you might be wondering, I'm not sure, again, where all you have your starting points, but just so we're all on the same page, you might be wondering how you actually make money as a coach. And this is kind of it in a nutshell. So we make commission, 25% commission off of anything we sell. So any of the workout programs, Shakeology, there's the performance line, and we'll talk more about these things. So you make commission off of any of that. There's bonuses that go along with challenge packs. There's also something called team bonuses that we'll talk more about as this is a network marketing company and as you grow your own teams. And then, of course, you get 25% discount on your own products and purchases. And next, a very fun topic, the rewards and perks of being a coach. So, so there are some great travel opportunities within Beachbody. And it's super fun that this company really rewards coaches in such fun ways. So, so one of them is this first picture here is a couple of us coaches at what's called Summit, and that is, it happens in the summertime. Summit is when a whole bunch of coaches, and I'm talking like tens of thousands of coaches, I think there were 25,000, I might be wrong about that, at the last Summit. We come together and they take some of the very top leaders of the company coaches and they give us some of their best practice advice. And they teach us things. They do product launches then. So that's when we've heard about some of the great new things coming out. They have some motivational and inspirational speakers. They have parties and reward parties and then parties for everybody. And it's such a great time to go and kind of just be around other people who are doing the same thing. You get to learn a ton and have fun and do live workouts with the celebrity trainers. So any of your favorites, Autumn Calabrese or Tony Horton or Chalene Johnson, they're always there, and you can go work out with them live and in person. And the coolest thing is that you can actually earn a free ticket to Summit. So Summit in 2016 will also be in Nashville, Tennessee. And the dates are up. It's the end of July, the very last, like, I think 3 days of July. I can't remember for sure, 28th, maybe the 31st, something like that. Anyway, but the really cool thing for brand new coaches is you can earn your ticket by hitting Success Club the first 3 months of the business. And they call that the Success Starters Program. And we'll talk more about it in the group. But basically, Success Club is a benchmark that the company sets for us, that if we if we help 3 people each month, you get what's called Success Club. And if you get that in your first 3 months of the business, then you earn your free ticket to Summit, which is pretty awesome. And a couple of coaches in our on our team have earned free tickets. And so it will be really cool to see a whole bunch of our team there in 2016. A couple of the other things, rewards and perks, there's a Success Club trip every year, and it's usually in the spring, so March, April. And the last one this year was to Cancun, Mexico. And you can actually get your trip paid for by hitting benchmarks in the company as well. So hitting Success Club benchmarks will get you a free trip. I believe the 2016 one is a cruise, and we can talk more about that too. But you can basically earn your way, and some people bring their family members, and so it's pretty sweet. Then, of course, the other perks are helping people have transformations. And for me, a big perk is that I get to be home with my little guys, who are climbing on me in that picture. Anyway, so you are part of a team of coaches. So the idea of being a part of a team, and we can talk more about network marketing and the structure as we go, but really the idea is that there are so many different kinds of people on our team who are coaches, And you are truly in this as a team. I hope that you feel that way being a part of Inspiration Nation. If your personally sponsored coach has a team page too, you might be a part of that as well. And we come from all different backgrounds, but we all have the same goal in mind of helping other people and of getting people started with challenge packs and helping them lead their own healthy and fulfilling lives. And we share so much great information together. It's not just about trying to make sales. It's about really trying to help people. So we'll help you see some of the tools that we already have laid out. And in this business, it's really important to be able to help the next person have success. So we try really hard to make things as easy as possible for when new coaches come on board, so that you don't have to feel like you're restarting something or reinventing the wheel. So what you can expect is support from your personally sponsored coach. So if that's me or somebody else on this call, you can expect support from that person, but also from our team as a whole. You can expect support from Beachbody, the company. So they do trainings and events. There's actually a quarterly Super Saturday that happens local to most. There's probably something near you. If you're not, I'm from Pittsburgh area in Pennsylvania, and there's always a quarterly Super Saturday across the United States, even up in Canada. And basically, the next one is October 17th, so it's coming up quickly. But it's a great time to go. It's kind of like a mini summit, and it usually lasts a couple hours, maybe 2 hours or something like that, or 3, or depending on what your Super Saturday theme is. But you get a bunch of updates, and you usually hear success stories from both a coach and a transformation story from a customer. And you get to hear about any kind of product launches and exciting things happening. There's usually a live workout as well. So if you can get to that, I would highly recommend it. And then there's also the trips that they offer, which are pretty sweet. The other thing you can expect is the Coach Basics group that we've opened and started. There are team calls, and Inspiration Nation does a weekly team call on Tuesday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Usually we try and have a theme, and we talk about what's coming up and all that good stuff. And then there are the Facebook groups, which I know most of you are a part of those. So I think you guys already know these things, but just to talk about them, an active coach is somebody who has already signed up and then reached a certain level of volume. And we'll talk more about volume and that kind of stuff as we move forward. There are people that just sign on to coach as what we call discount coaches, and they don't really have an interest in running the business. They just want to get a discount on their Shakeology because they love Shakeology and they get it every month, or they want a discount on the products. And as I think you all know, there are fees involved. It's a $40 fee to sign up to be a coach, but that was waived for any of you who bought challenge packs. And then there's a monthly fee to be a coach, and that's for for Beachbody runs everything for us having to do with customer service. We don't have to, at other companies like this, other network marketing companies, you actually have to stockpile the products, like have your garage full of whatever, and we don't have to do that. And because we don't have to do any of that stuff, we get this fee. The fee also includes your websites, which we'll talk about, and so that people can order through you, and all the advertising that Beachbody does for us so that people know what the 21-day fix is. All these infomercials and whatever. Something you might not know is that there's a military discount. So if any of you are active military, or your spouse is active military, or you are you were in the military before, you get your fees waived, so you don't have to pay the $40 fee or the monthly fee. So that may or may not apply to you, but it may apply to somebody that you're talking to down the line. So just keep that in your mind. So I just kind of wanted to end this with these ideas. So first of all, surrounding yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. I can say for me, I've never been a part of a job where the people around me are so encouraging and so inspiring and so supportive of each other. I mean, this team that we have, Inspiration Nation, it's amazing how much these people have become my family, and how much I lean on them for support, and we lean on each other, and we really work together to figure out the business and to make it work for us and help us move forward for all the big dreams that we all have. which brings me to my next one. Every accomplishment begins with the decision to try. I know for me, starting out, it was tough to think about taking a leap of faith to leave my job as a social worker and to do something like this. But I'm so glad that I did, because it's been so worth everything that all those thoughts I was having. Steve Jobs says this: the only way to do great work is to love what you do. And I think this job is such a creative outlet for trying things and working with people and inspiring people. It's awesome because you could stay accountable to your own goals. I think it's pretty cool that basically we get paid to work out and eat healthy. And then the last one here: as we work to create light for others, we naturally light our own way. And I think that kind of speaks to the accountability piece. I think as we're helping other people, we're learning ourselves about fitness and nutrition. We're kind of staying on track ourselves. And as we're helping other people have success as coaches in this business, we are also having our own success as well. So it's pretty cool, this whole network of giving back. So this is the last one here. Wait, let me just move us over. So this is time to think for a minute about what can becoming a coach do for you, and what are some of the things that have inspired you to become a coach? Who can you help? What are your goals and dreams? And just kind of being ready to step outside your comfort zone and make things happen. I think that it just can't be stated enough, the possibilities with this opportunity. I mean, what other job can you pick your hours and potentially have huge earnings, unlike any other job, and be around such positive, supportive people? I can't think of anything else like it, and I feel so excited to welcome you to be a part of our team. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and come back to all of your beautiful faces. So I thought maybe what we could do next is just go around and introduce ourselves, and then I'd like to kind of wrap up with what's next for everybody for the next week or so. So why don't we start with introductions? I'm going to have the veteran coaches introduce themselves first. So Kathy, do you want to introduce yourself? There, I've unmuted you.
Sure. I am Kathy. Terry is my upline. I bought Beachbody First back last October and never really touched it until around May, April-ish, and I joined a group with Terry, who I actually found through one of my daughter's daycare teachers. She's related to Terry and saw a post and reached out to her. I became a coach in May. Didn't really work the business, just kind of wanted the discount for the Shakeology. And started when I came back in June and ended up getting Success Club June, July, and August, and earned my free ticket to Summit, which I'm super excited about. I was so hesitant to start, mainly because I still have a long ways to go in my journey. Been struggling a little recently with the nutrition, being so busy and things like that, but it has helped me kind of stay on track and keep me accountable. You see your challengers and they look up to you and you are like, well, I can't really have that peanut butter cup, which are my favorite, because, what if that person in the store is a future challenger? So it's helped me a lot. And I think that's it. I have a ways to go, but, it's going good.
Yeah, you're doing awesome. And free ticket. Yeah. That's so great. All right, Terry, how about if you go next? There you go.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Terry Paul. And I just have to say, Kathy, you are doing wonderfully and great encourager for all the people that are in our challenge groups. And she does a fantastic job as a coach and just kind of does, she knows what to do, kind of does things on her own and reaches out to people and leads her own people. So it's definitely a perfect fit for you. So I'll introduce myself. I think I know some of you sort of virtually, so it's nice to see your faces and meet you face to face, sort of, I guess. This is the best we can do. But Kathleen is my upline coach and savior of the world. She she introduced me to Beachbody. It's been 2 years now, and she encouraged me to join a challenge group with her, and I was really hesitant. She had to talk to me a few times, and I was like, I don't know. And I was at the point where I was trying to lose those extra 10, 15 pounds from having 3 babies that I couldn't get rid of. And I thought the answer was to run and keep running and run more. I just thought that was what I was supposed to do. So I did that. And Kathleen and I actually did it together. And we did lose a little bit of weight, but it just wasn't the answer. I enjoyed it, and I did have a good time kind of challenging myself. It was the first time I had ever trained and ran a half marathon before. So that part of it was fun. But the whole nutrition side and Shakeology, I knew nothing about. And so when she asked me to join this challenge, I was all for yes, I've heard of T25. I have P90X. I'll do it. Sure. And then she was like, have you ever heard of Shakeology and clean eating? And I was like, oh, no. And I'm not really sure I want to do it. It kind of freaked me out a little bit because I just was so used to eating whatever I wanted that I was a little nervous and scared to jump into that. So she's very good at convincing, and it worked. And I was like, okay, you know what? For my birthday, because it was November, for my birthday, I said to my husband, okay, this is what I want. I want to buy this challenge pack. And he was like, okay, I'm all in. I'll do it with you. We're going to get in shape and lose weight and whatever. He knew Kathleen. They went to high school together. And he was like, whatever Kathleen is doing, it must be good. So let's just do it. I was like, okay. So we did it, and I joined that challenge group. And I was the person in the background who didn't speak or post or anything. I just sort of read everything, took it in. I would share it with my husband. I didn't have him look in the challenge group because people were posting pictures and confidentiality. I didn't want, him, and he didn't want to either. But everything that was posted, I'd share with him. We started changing our eating habits, and we fell in love with Shakeology, and it was this is awesome. I don't have to make a salad and eat green things all day. I can do this. It tastes like a shake from the ice cream store. So I did that for 90 days. We did Shakeology and T25 and this challenge group, and I became really good friends with the people in my challenge group. And it was this eye-opening thing. I was at home. I was a daycare provider in my own home. I had 6 to 7 kids in my house per day. And so for me, I was always putting myself on the back burner. I did not take time to work out every day. No way. On the weekends, yes. But it was just all I needed was 30 minutes. And I had people helping me figure out how to make a meal plan, which I'd never done before. And people encouraging me online. I could never leave my house, even go to the store or the post office, because I had so many kids at my house. And at night, I had 3 kids of my own. We would have events and baseball games and things like that. So me time was so small that this was oh my goodness, the greatest thing that ever happened. And so then I just started blabbing about it to everybody I knew. And I was like, join this next challenge with me, because it's so fun. You will be amazed at how good you feel after a week just drinking this stuff and working out. And then when I started to get more and more into coaching with this team, it was my outlet to the world of human beings who were over 5 years old. So when we would get on these calls, I mean, this seems funny, we're talking in Brady Bunch squares here, but whenever we would have like a Tuesday night call for Inspiration Nation, I was like, yes, real people who are like my age that I can talk to, it was very exciting. So, and then just sharing ideas and learning the business, because I am an elementary school teacher. I taught first grade for many years before I had my kids. So, this was like foreign to me. I'm not a saleswoman at all. I still don't consider myself a salesperson with this business because I don't really feel like I'm selling anything. I'm just sharing how awesome this experience is. So for me, it was an easy transition. I didn't really even think about it. I just started inviting friends to challenge groups, and they liked it, and then they told their friends and then their friends, and it was like, okay, and then all of a sudden, like, paychecks were coming in, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And so for a year and a half, I worked this job, well, almost 2 years, I worked this job part-time, like at night, while I had my daycare in my home. And then this summer in June was a glorious day. I hung up my daycare hat and went full-time with Beachbody. I had come to a point where my income that I was making with Beachbody matched what I was making with childcare. And I decided to stop that and pursue this. And with more time that I'm able to put into it, the benefits obviously are increasing. And it's awesome. Like last Friday, my son was sick at school. I had to go pick him up. And I didn't have to call all the parents that I work that, are at here that I was watching and tell them like, okay, I have to go get Charlie. He's sick. I don't know if you want your kids here because he's sick. And then they also it was just like, I could be home with him, just take care of him. And when my other two came home from school, I was there. It was like, and I could work later that night, in the evening for the 2 hours that he was at school that I was supposed to be working. Because I've tried to schedule time now. I just did it at night, and it was like, I can just do it whenever I want, and it's awesome. So that's kind of my story of how I got into coaching. I talked too long, and I would rather hear from all of you. I got real fired up. Okay.
It was a huge, huge thing that Terry was able to be done with her job. And I don't know if she stressed that enough, because I feel like that was something that you had really wanted, but also because I think, like you just said, it just makes it so much easier to focus on your own kids, which is so important. And I'm still so excited for you. It's only like 1 month into the real,
yeah, I know. I'm still, it's very exciting. It hasn't really hit me completely yet, but
that's so awesome. Okay, so now we got you some newbies here, and I would love to hear some of your stories. Michelle, would you mind going first? You're just the first one on my screen here, so
sure.
A little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I live in Dublin, California. I'm originally from Wisconsin, which is how I know Kathy. We used to work together, many years ago, 5 or 6 years ago at a bank. And we've kept in touch on Facebook, not all the time, but we're Facebook friends. And I don't know, it must have been in the summer. I saw Kathy made her like page, and so I liked it. So I would see her post all these things about Beachbody, but I never really asked anything. My own fitness journey started in January. Being here, my dad lives here, my husband's with me, but I really didn't know anyone else. So I decided to join a running group that meets Mondays and Wednesdays. So I run a lot. I was eating well. I lost 30 pounds on my own, but I'm training for a half marathon. And part of that is doing strength training, and I just can't afford to go to their boot camps. So I'm so I'm just doing everything on my own. I like Kathy's Facebook page. I see she posts things all the time. And then August came, and it was my husband's birthday. And he's always saying, oh, I really need to lose weight. Together, we've gained a lot. And so for his birthday, really randomly, I saw an infomercial for 21 Day Fix. And I was like, I think he would really like to do that. We can do it together. That sounds like a good birthday present. So I bought it. And then really randomly the same day or the next day, Kathy was like, oh, would you be interested in doing like a 21-day fix group challenge? And I was like, that's really weird because I
Uh-oh. Did she just freeze for me? Is she frozen for you guys?
Yeah, she's frozen.
Oh, oh that stinks.
Oh, there you are. You froze.
my computer, I don't have very good internet here. But anyways, so I did the 21-day challenge. I did not have Shakeology. I wanted Shakeology. And so I was like, well, I like talked to my husband and he's like, it's kind of expensive. I said, I know, but I can get a discount. So that's kind of how this rolled into being like a coach. But I really like it. I have a lot of people, they're like, what do? You look so good. And I tell everyone what I do now. And so I don't know. I'm really excited to see what happens. I really want to help people. Like, especially, it's first started with like my parents, like my dad and my stepmom and my mom. And I'm a registered nurse, so I work in a skilled nursing facility, and I see what like diabetes does to heart failure, like all these things. I'm like, sorry. So anyways, I'll wrap up now because obviously my internet is not working out. But I just want to help people. I use the products. I love the products. So we'll see what happens.
That's so great. Welcome. I'm so excited you're here. I don't know if you can still hear me, but that was wonderful. Thank you for introducing yourself. Okay, wait, no, I can't fix it. Tina, would you like to go next?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I started doing the 21-day fix in May, and I signed up under Sarah Shaw, who I guess is Terry's sister-in-law. And I had met her last year at a women's retreat, and I just kept seeing, my story is a little bit like Michelle's. I just kept seeing these posts that she had, and I've been on and off Weight Watchers ever since I had my kids, and I had great success with it, but it was the fitness part of it that I always kind of struggled with because I never knew really what to do, because they would say, get your workout in, check the little box. Yes, you have your workout in. And it never was really, I don't know. I always got the food part okay, but it was always the fitness part. And we had a house fire 2 years ago. And so it really changed a lot that happened in my life. And nobody was hurt. Everybody was safe. But during that whole transitional period, I put on a lot of extra weight, and so did my husband. And I was at the heaviest weight I've ever been. And in May, we went out of town for Mother's Day, and we had a great time just this past May. And I saw the pictures of myself during that trip, and I looked at myself and I thought, this is not the best person I can be. I'm not the best mom. I'm not the best, I'm not the ideal person that I think I can be. I'm not doing myself any favors the way I'm living right now. So I really wanted to do something. And the Mother's Day was, I don't know, what's that, the middle of May? And then Sarah kept posting these things about these groups. And I thought, you know what? Darn it, she keeps posting. She's in my brain. So I figured I'm just going to give it a shot. And I also rep doTERRA essential oils, and I had just bought their meal replacement. So I didn't want to buy the Shakeology as well, and I figured I'll do the 21-day fix and do the meal replacement with that. But I felt good because I was exercising, but I didn't have very much change in my weight or anything. And then I got the Shakeology because I was just tired of not really seeing any results and working really hard. And I got the Shakeology, and it was like almost immediate, the change that it made. And so I became a coach. I don't even remember, June? I don't know. I have to look it up. And I really like it. And I really like helping people. I've been in sales for the past 20 years, and I just changed jobs in January, and I've got a fantastic job, but I don't get commission in the job. So I'm really hoping to kind of make back some of that additional revenue that I didn't have. And people that I work with keep noticing that I'm losing weight and saying how great I look. And so I'm slowly planting some seeds with them about what they can do too. So I'm just excited to try something new and share it with people.
That's awesome. I'm so sorry. I can't imagine how difficult that was to have a house fire. My goodness.
Yeah, it was hard. Thankfully, we didn't lose the whole house and everybody was safe, but it was a really difficult time for us. And of course, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm stressed out, I eat. So there you go.
Yes. True for me as well. Or when I'm happy or when I'm sad.
Emotional eating, yes.
Right, yes. Oh, that's so funny. You're there twice, Terry.
Sorry, I know. My computer did this again.
Twice?
It's like frozen, and I can hear you.
Oh, wait, you just
You're
muted. Oh. Well, thank you, Tina. That was great. And actually, we can learn from you with all your sales knowledge. That will be really helpful.
It is interesting. I see this stuff and people are like, this stuff is great. And I think, yeah, it's sales stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We'll have you lead
right into
it. Because I think even though you don't have to be a salesperson to do this job, it is really helpful because there are some key ideas that I think we might be missing that you could maybe help.
It seems, the tools are very good.
Yeah. Okay, super. Okay, Ruthie, let me unmute you here.
Hi everybody, my name is Ruth Cedarface and I'm from South Dakota. I actually live on the Pioneer Indian Reservation in South Dakota. I've lived here probably most of my life except for my first 7 years of life. And I've just been the chubby girl all my life. I think I got into this, into Beachbody when Kathleen approached me, but at first I was kind of suspicious of her because you always hear all this stuff about online scams and all this stuff. And, but then I ended up talking with her and she was a real person and it eased my fears of anything. And I started with the 21-day challenge. And that was really a good thing for me because Kathleen got me at a time when I was transitioning from a job into a new job. I was a mental health specialist with the Indian Health Service in Pine Ridge for a few years, I think about 5 years minus 4 months of that time. And so I was transitioning into a new job. I needed the break. I needed the time to kind of recover after the death of my mom in 2014. And it was such a good transition for me, but it was also a really difficult transition for me because I was, the good part of it was I needed to do it. I needed the time to start taking care of myself. It was a difficult job because we had and just several young people commit suicide and we were just on crisis mode all the time. And so by the time I left, it was time for me to just go. And so I got this new job, but it paid like way less than what my other job was doing. So when Kathleen, we talked about me joining, becoming a coach, I can't even remember, was that June or July? But I didn't, financially, I couldn't afford it. And well, I told myself I couldn't afford it because I was scared. But I had to stop and think a little bit about things because in 2007, I joined the diabetes prevention program that was offered through our Indian Health Service. And in that time, I had lost from 2007 to 2010, 70 pounds. And I just done it by exercising and nothing major, a lot of walking, 150 minutes a week. And then just watching my intake. And so I know I could do it. I knew I could do what I was going to do. I knew I had the tools. I even helped the diabetes prevention after by becoming a person that helped us at what they called AfterCore. And so it's kind of like aftercare in treatment terms, which is so easy for me because by profession, I'm an addictions counselor, a licensed addictions counselor for the state. So I was able to help with like treatment plans and things like that. And so everything kind of seemed to work. It just kind of seemed to fall in place. And so when I started learning more about Beachbody, I was a bit hesitant too because I'm not in the best shape that I could be. I was afraid that, you know, you always see all these commercials and infomercials and everything and these really nice, in shape, skinny people. And I never was, even when I lost 70 pounds, I was not a skinny person. I was a big girl. But I was healthy. And I was able to do a lot of things that I wasn't able to do for a long time. And I used to say, well, when I turned 40, that I was in the best health of my life. And it's crazy that after 40 years that I could say that. And so now I'm 40, going to be 48 this year, and I want to say that again. And I think one of the things that this is going to offer me is that it's going to keep me on track for myself, because like you guys are saying, I tend to put myself last when it's about taking care of people. My family comes first. Other people come first. People at work come first. And so this is going to be something that's going to help me while I could still help people. And it seems like a challenge for me because I tend to get lazy real easy, or I want to get, I want to say, okay, well, today I'm not going to do something, but I'll do it tomorrow. And then I start my cycle of just like putting things off. But this has been able to help me stay on track so far. And that's what I want to do. And recently I started a women's empower group in our community. And one of the goals that a couple of us have, not only we're doing education on this month we're focusing on breast cancer awareness. We're going to do different things like that. We have support groups. We're going to have arts and crafts kind of thing. But one of the goals that a couple of the ladies in a group was to work towards the triathlon next summer. And so I don't know, how that's going to work out, but we're just going to start doing it, working. And that, I guess I'm just here and I'm just excited to be a part of this. And I don't know if you guys can see my face because I look like I'm this stalker or creeper with just a silhouette on the screen, but I just, I'm just excited. I'm excited to do this.
Yeah, we're so excited you're here too. You've had we've talked a bit about it, but you've had such a stressful period of time that I honestly, I can't even imagine how stressful, but I feel like you really, just from, what you've shared with me, that it's the timing, it seems to be right for you to kind of get back to your own health and fitness, but also you're already such a leader in your community and, inspiring so many people already, that it just seems like such a natural fit. And then what a bonus to be able to earn an income as well. And potentially, a big income, depending on what you want to do with this. But I think that's so cool what you're doing and reaching people that, otherwise may not have the opportunities to be a part of something like this.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. So, so we're at 10 o'clock now. So let me just wrap up really quickly. With these calls, I don't really want you to, we'll try really hard to stay within an hour because I don't want people, it's 10 p.m. on the East Coast here. So I don't want people to be going to bed at all hours of the night. But anyway, so I just wanted to tell you what's coming up. So we're going to start talking this week about inviting, because I really feel like that's the next big thing for everybody. And I feel like you should get right to it. And really at the beginning phases, and actually throughout the whole thing, as Terry said, it's just about sharing and inviting people to join you. So I'm not sure about the other coaches in here, and I certainly would like for you to talk with your own personally sponsored coach, but I am personally doing a challenge group starting on the 19th, so in about a week, and you are most welcome to join in these groups with us and just invite people to join you. And I'll put in the group probably tomorrow some sample invitations. I'm doing the one that's drop a pumpkin or pumpkin drop or whatever, which it's a super cute idea. I can't take credit for it. But the average pumpkin weighs like 7 to 14 pounds. And so the idea is that you would lose 7 to 14 pounds and essentially drop a pumpkin. So that's the theme of the group that I'm going to do. And it will start the 19th. So the idea would be that people would order their products by the 19th. So we'll spend the first week as a prep week. And that means if you have not been a part of a group, or just to remind you of that, the first week we do while people are getting their programs in the mail, and it's just kind of the setup for what the official start would be the 26th. So we have people order and then give them a week to order their products by. So you are most welcome to join in that group with me, or your personally sponsored coach may have another plan for you. So check in with them or just jump on board. And for all of our groups, we have templates, which means that we don't come up with the posts on the spot unless you want to. So you don't have to feel like you have to know everything to get started. You just jump in with us and we will help guide you. And if you want to just kind of sit back, you can, or if you want to go all in, you can. Or if you want to start something yourself, you certainly can do that too. But that's kind of the plan. So that's our plan for the week, is to just kind of get in and get started inviting. And if any of you, the other thing that we'll talk about this week is just kind of announcing that you are a coach, because I think sometimes people have friends that would jump on board if only they knew what was going on. So it's not kind of a way to help ease you in, is that me or your personally sponsored coach, if they haven't already, and with your permission, can just kind of announce you on Facebook as welcome this new coach, etc., so that your friends you can kind of start conversations with some ease about that. So we'll talk about that this week in the group as well. So thank you everybody for getting on the call. Again, we're so thrilled to have you as part of the team. I hope that you have felt welcomed as you joined in, and then stay tuned in the Coach Basics group, because that's where we will talk more about what's to come. And then we'll have another call. We'll do 4 weeks of these calls. It's 4 weeks of Coach Basics, and we'll do 4 calls like this. So if you are able to jump on, you could plan for Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That would be fantastic, and I will always record them too. But just a little tip: if you can get on them live, it's so much better, I think. So that's it. Thanks for getting on, ladies. It's so good to see you.
Nice to meet you. See you in the group. See you next week.
Bye.